Oh, Major, come in. Have a drink with me. You did some truly fine work here on Voss. Not even Torius could stop you.
I'm just glad things worked out, sir.
Well, more or less.
Unbelievably, even after everything the Empire did, the Voss refused to take a side.
I'm sure you'll persuade them eventually, sir.
We can only hope. In any event, you've done your part. The Empire clearly won't be invading Voss again anytime soon. You're one of the finest representatives for the Republic that I've ever met. The troops are yours, and don't hesitate to contact me if I can do more.
Those troops will make a big difference, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Take care out there, Major.
You did it, Major. We're packing our gear and shipping out. It's time to show these imps how lucky they've been.
Stay sharp and fight hard, Captain.
Don't know any other way, sir. Let's get moving, people. Vacation's over.
Major, our troops are already back on the move. More than one senior general is singing our praises at the moment. Possibly even more impressive, Senator Everett's staff sent me a very complimentary message regarding your conduct. Apparently, you made a good impression.
I'm glad I was able to represent us well.
Yes, and that's always very helpful in times like these. With more manpower on the ground to supplement our space forces, the tide of this campaign will finally turn in our favor. We're only a few steps away from General Racton himself. He'll have to commit his personal forces somewhere soon. When he does, you'll be there to strike.
When we get our shot at Racton, I'll be ready.
I'm glad to hear it. Unfortunately, a situation has developed in the Senate. A hearing to investigate Special Forces' recent activities. You've been called to testify.
I'll head back to Coruscant immediately.
Good. I'll give you a full briefing once you arrive. Garza out.
Outstanding news, sir. We've got a positive fix on the Deadeyes' location. Balker finally came through for us. Decrypted the rest of those coordinates we sent him. The data points to an Imperial outpost on Hoth. Another labor camp, most likely.
Let's get down there and bring those soldiers home.
Right behind you, sir. Once we get those men out of there, we can put all this craziness behind us. I just hope we're not too late.
General Garza, I hadn't expected you here. Or Agent Balker.
The Senate situation is more complicated than I could explain via holo. I couldn't be certain my office wasn't being monitored. What I said before was accurate. The Senate has called a hearing to investigate the actions of Special Forces, Havoc Squad specifically. But what I couldn't say was that the senator behind these proceedings is actually an undercover agent for the Empire. The entire hearing is a sham.
How could the Empire possibly get an agent elected to the Senate?
They didn't. They just bought someone who was already in place. We have the evidence right here. His name's Zion. He represents a tiny little rock in the middle of some very profitable trade lanes.
With the help of Imperial intelligence, Senator Zion has slowly gained influence. Now he's turning that influence against us.
It's just another shot from dear old General Racton. Zion gets Havoc suspended. Racton gets the break he needs to turn the war back his way.
What's our move? Arrest Zion?
Not exactly. The military doesn't have that kind of authority. And detaining Zion would only fuel his accusations that we abuse our power. I want you to attend the hearing just as the Senate has asked. We can't risk him getting away. Go and conduct yourself respectfully. When it's your turn to speak, present the evidence the SIS has gathered. The Senate will have to investigate, and we'll be free to resume operations.
Do we have a backup plan in case the evidence isn't enough?
The evidence is indisputable. That won't be an issue. Remember, Senator Zion will do his best to paint you as a loose cannon. Don't do anything to prove him right. I'll be waiting in my office. Report back to me as soon as the hearing is complete. Dismissed.
Have fun, Major.
Major, Lieutenant Mai. I'm General Garza's new assistant. It's a real honor to meet you.
I never knew General Garza even had an assistant.
Yes, she told me she usually prefers not to have one, but I suppose circumstances have changed. The General had to leave to deal with an urgent situation on Corellia. If you'd like, I can connect you with her via holo.
That'd be great, Lieutenant.
One moment, please.
Major, I understand our dilemma has been taken care of. Reports are already circulating about Zion's secondary income. Racton could have buried us with this one. If the SIS hadn't come through, if you hadn't convinced the Senate to review their evidence, we would be finished. Well done.
Catching traitors is just standard operating procedure.
Hopefully, this will be the last traitor we have to deal with for a long while. Join me on Corellia as quickly as possible. General Racton has taken the field personally. This is the opportunity we've been waiting for.
What made you decide to go to Corellia yourself, General?
The battle for Corellia may determine the outcome of the entire war, Major. I must take a direct role in commanding our forces. Contact me when you arrive, and I'll give you a full briefing. Garza out.
General Racton? It sounds like you better hurry, Major. Good luck.
Sir, I need your approval to requisition some supplies for my medical kit. I've categorized the items by relative priority. Everything fits within our allotment under Supply Code 18, but items near the bottom of the list can wait if necessary.
You know what you're doing, Dorn. Request approved.
Thank you. I'll have this submitted immediately. We're fortunate to be serving in Special Forces. We get priority when requesting supplies like these. I've heard that regular Army units must now wait several weeks to receive high-demand items. Increased hostilities are taking their toll.
If we don't get hurt, we won't need to use medical supplies.
I'll still keep us fully stocked, just in case. Thank you, sir.
Barracks. Hal. You two still breathing?
More or less. Didn't expect to see you here, sir.
Nor I. Care to tell me what you two are doing here?
We're rescuing the Deadeyes. Play nice, and maybe we'll let you tag along.
Maybe I don't want to be rescued. Don't you get it? This operation was never about rescuing POWs. We've been after one thing, Dusk 9.
Impossible. That place is just a myth.
Is it? We'll never know now, thanks to you two.
I must be missing something. What's Dusk 9?
It's nothing. Just a spook story the Imperials concocted to scare us.
Next to the Emperor's location, Dusk 9 is the Empire's best-kept secret. Hundreds of Black Ops projects are born there.
It's also a prison, according to the rumors. The things that supposedly go on there, too horrible to be real.
We're more interested in the intel hoarded there. We seeded thousands of bugged soldiers into the Imperial penal system, hoping for a bite.
Why so many soldiers?
To improve our odds, naturally. The more soldiers we seed, the better our chances of someone winding up at Dusk 9. We were using the wrong bait. The brass at Dusk 9 weren't interested in common soldiers. But how could they resist an SIS agent? So, I bugged myself, staged a bogus rescue operation, and let myself be captured. I was awaiting transfer when you two geniuses showed up.
You can still go on with your mission.
You don't think the Imperials will be just a teensy bit suspicious that you rescued the Deadeyes, yet conveniently left me behind? Now, I have no choice but to abort my mission and try again somewhere else.
Sir, we can deal with Zane later. Let's just find the rest of the squad and get out of here.
Jorgen, sir, they're dead. The cold, they didn't make it.
What? Trace? Copland? They're gone? But I thought... Zane.
Now you've done it.
What? It's not my fault they weren't properly insulated.
You killed them. You promised them a rescue that never came, and now they're dead for it. How many other soldiers have died for you? Huh? 100? 1,000?
You can't kill me, Jorgen. Too many witnesses.
As far as we're concerned, sir, the Imperials killed him.
What? Wait, you can't just... Major, do something!
He's all yours, Jorgen.
No!
That's for Copland and Trace. Good men. Brave men.
You sure you two won't tell anyone about this?
Absolutely, sir.
Let's get you two back to your squad. They'll want to know you're okay. I'll call for an evac. They're off, sir. Mission accomplished.
You doing all right?
Honestly, I'd rather not talk about it right now, sir. Let's just get out of here.
Everything's ready, boss. I've got Lord Albrecht's location on Alderaan and all of the files that prove the debt. I just have to walk in, show the files, act tough, and we can both become a little bit richer.
Richer is always better.
See you when I've got the credits. That was ridiculous. Turns out there's two Lord Albrechts. A father-son team. A crazy old man and stuck-up little punk team, really. Neither of them had a single credit, and both of them had promised to sell the guns to 3 different buyers apiece.
How'd you deal with them?
It took a lot of wrangling, but I managed to get those 2 saps into the same room with all of their buyers. Then I lobbed a couple of grenades in. Most of the buyers' credits were still in one piece afterward, so I'm calling it a win.
Sounds like another job well done, Vic.
Let's hope the next rundown isn't so tough. The stress might ruin my looks.
I'm still quite concerned about Captain Kaylor and his accusations, sir. If Personnel Division thinks I'm withholding information about the Empire, they can continue hounding me under Security Regulation 15. I think if men like Kaylor had their way, I'd be locked in a room reciting the minutiae of Imperial culture until the end of time.
I won't let them do that to you, Alara.
Thank you. I truly appreciate everything you do for me. I do sometimes wonder if I'm being unfair, though. I'm one of the only people in the Republic with extensive knowledge of Imperial culture. Perhaps I have a responsibility to do what few others can, even if it's not what I'd like to be doing.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me, sir. I'll leave you to your other duties.
I'm sorry, I don't know what Xavier Juna means. Is there any way I can lend a hand? I hope you find what you're looking for. It's great to hear that things went well, Yoon.
Sir, I've discovered the perfect target for our next operation. Lord Voss. Voss is a marauding Sith Lord, responsible for countless deaths. Exactly the type of dangerous scum we're uniquely qualified to eliminate.
Give me the full brief, Forex.
With pleasure, sir. Lord Voss single-handedly destroyed a Republic outpost on Brental 4, massacring its personnel. He fought and killed 2 Jedi Knights simultaneously. According to intelligence reports, this butcher is becoming a hero to the Empire's ravening masses. Neutralizing him will help our cause greatly.
Let's make this a priority. Tell me as soon as we have a location.
As soon as I know more, I'll inform you right away, sir.
All right, boss, you got me. Working together like we've been doing, it's a gold mine. If you're up for making this a long-term arrangement, then count me in.
Is this some weird come on, Vic?
Don't be dense. You're not nearly trashy enough for me. Plus, your people are ugly as huts. Not a mark in the galaxy that can handle both of us, boss. Let's get out there and make some credits.
Sir, about what happened earlier. Zane got what was coming to him. But I shouldn't have been the one pulling the trigger. Killing an unarmed man, Republic agent no less. That goes against everything I've been raised to do. Everything I've been trained to do.
You did what had to be done.
If killing Zane saves even a few Republic soldiers, I'll accept that burden. But that doesn't make it right. Honestly, it's not even Zane's death that's bothering me. It's everything. The Deadeyes, the operation, and the Republic's part in all this. You heard Zane. Thousands of soldiers, all being fed to the Empire to find a place that may not even exist. It isn't right.
We put a stop to that when we killed Zane.
Did we? Who's to say another agent won't just pick up right where he left off? We're stats to the brass. Numbers to throw at the Empire for the Republic's convenience. I'd have been proud to die for the Republic before, but after this...
You're still a part of this squad.
Don't worry. I'm not throwing in the towel yet. Won't ever trust command again, but I'll keep fighting. Because the Republic is more than the bureaucrats running it. It's the billions of people who can't fend for themselves, who are counting on us to defend them. I'll fight for them. And for you, sir.
I'm afraid I have another requisition form that requires your attention, sir. Our shipboard rations have fallen somewhat below the levels outlined in Code 18, and the Quartermaster Corps restocking estimate is currently 9 weeks. As an alternative, I'd like to supplement our food stores with products from public sources. Real food, as Jorgen would say, but commanding officer approval is required.
If we could have been having real food this whole time, why haven't we?
In the past, restocking through official channels was the simpler option, but demand is much higher now. I'll have us back to standard stock levels in no time. Thank you for your time, sir.
Success, sir. Lord Cobbles has foolishly given away his position.
To all who excel in the arts of death, be it known that Lord Cavos, Master of Combat, seeks a lieutenant to serve him. I seek a worthy right hand to carry out my commands across the galaxy, and profit immensely. Those who think themselves suited should present themselves at the coordinates included in this message. Come prepared.
Cavus had to know this would be intercepted. He isn't afraid of anything, is he?
Don't worry, sir. He'll learn to fear the justice of the Republic soon enough. The coordinates are on Tatooine, sir. I recommend we move quickly before Cavos can find a suitable lieutenant and move on. For the Republic! Target neutralized, sir. Lord Cavos will threaten the innocent people of the galaxy no longer. As expected, his overconfidence made his defeat all but certain. I simply took my place among the scum, hoping to gain his favor, and struck at the first opportunity.
Bet that got you a lot closer than you would have otherwise.
Precisely, sir. Lord Cavos decided that a fight to the death would determine his champion. Every man for himself. Once the fighting began, I closed in. I started by grabbing a Nikto thug who was making liberal use of a flamethrower. With pinpoint accuracy, I hurled him toward Cavos, whose robes were instantly ignited.
I imagine that kept Cavus's attention pretty well.
It did, sir. Although Cavos was thoroughly distracted, I remained cautious and did not engage him directly. Instead, I targeted a nearby Mandalorian using a jetpack. As soon as his velocity and flight vector were pointed correctly, I opened fire with my cannons, sending him barreling into Cavos and the Nikto. The explosion did the rest.
It sounds like you carried out your mission with exceptional skill.
Thank you very much, sir. This was a critical victory. Our comrades are sure to take heart when they hear that a monster like Cavos has been laid low. I'll begin searching for a new target at once.